How's it going, Song of Ice and Fire fans? Grant from Ye Cats Miniatures here, bringing you our second ever show of Ye Chats. Now, I should be joined by James, but he's currently having issues getting home from work, probably because he's a very short person, has very tiny legs, but he will be joining us, hopefully by the time we get to the Brotherhood Without Banner stuff. I know he's very excited about it. I mean, we all are, right? There's some absolutely cracking stuff in that faction. I ain't getting too much now. I'll go through that with James. So what I'll do is I'll quickly go over some of the bits and pieces from the event side of stuff, and then we'll go hopefully get through the Brotherhood Banner stuff by the time James gets here. All going well. So how's it going? How's it going, Chris? You ready for Brotherhood Banners? So we're gonna, if you join us in the chat, make sure you do give us some feedback, talk to us. Sorry, let me sort my stuff out. Be one of them days when nothing goes right. This will go right though, because you guys are here with me, so that's amazing. Dreamy. Okay, cool. So we're gonna go through some of the event side stuff first, and then we'll crack on through Brother Banners by the time James gets in. I apologise for my cough. I have problems with clearing my throat today. So just go through some of the events. We are still looking forward to Warfare on the 16th and 17th of November. I know that Aaron has been talking about it quite a bit. He's got quite a few people signed up to play it. There are still spaces available, so if you're keen to get cracking on with Warfare and really make a massive impact for Song of Ice and Fire's first ever show at the convention, definitely do grab some tickets. The links are in the description below, so jump on there to check out check out some of the shows. Obviously there's two events running, the 16th and the 17th. The 16th is a competitive 2-list 40-point format, where with only restrictions being around neutrals, and the second event is all around like a themed list where there's no duplicates. When we last spoke to Aaron, he did mention that he was potentially lifting that for some of the core units of the game, like your Baratheon Wardens, your Raiders, etc., Free Folk Raiders, etc., etc., etc. So hopefully, with a bit of luck, we'll get some update on that. Aaron, if you are in the chat, do drop us a link to where the updated rules pack is. Again, the ticket links and stats links should be in the description below. Yeah, so that's Warfare. We will be there. Cats will be there on Saturday to stream the top table. I believe Carl's trying to wiggle himself free so he can jump on board and attend Warfare, which will actually be quite cool. Then we have the Ribble Rumble. I believe it's completely sold out now. Brian is away playing games tonight, so he's not going to be in the chat to update us, but I'm pretty sure he sold this out now, so ignore the 7 tickets remaining bit. We are now completely sold out. And the next one we have up is Joy to the Realm. This is run by Brad Blackburn and co down in Toyment. They're running this event on the 8th of September. Oh, it's 8th of December. It was September because they're fucking time travelers, obviously. So yeah, so it's run by Brad Blackburn and co down to south. Those guys are doing some really cool stuff. They are running the Southern GT. I haven't updated all the slides to include the Southern GT, but I'll make sure to post some stuff on my social medias to push that, because again, it's an incredible event, and it'll be great to see some people down there with us. I know myself, James, and Kyle have all got tickets for the Southern GT. Has Kyle got a Southern GT ticket? I can't remember. Me and James definitely have though, because we're awesome. Kyle is less awesome. Then we have the Battle of the Three Swords. Christmas is coming, so this is our massive event in Chumps we're running. It's a 30-player event, all completely sold out. We have got some of the prize support. We've got most of the prize support sorted now. Next episode that we do of Ye Chats, we are going to be covering some of that and going over some of the prize support and the event itself, just to try and sort of promote that. We will be streaming obviously the entire event because it's our event. Yeah, this is we're getting more and more interest in these events, in the Chelmsford events. Because it's really cool to see some of the old faces coming back. We're also seeing some new faces, which has been really cool. And we have got a special guest intro speaker to that as well, which I'll post eventually when we get around to doing that as well. Then we have Battle of Chains Day 2. Tickets are still available for this. We did speak about it last episode. We were talking a little bit about the fact that it's quite far in the future in April. Obviously, we're getting slightly close to it now, but there are tickets still available. We do urge you to grab tickets quickly. We had a great time last time we ran an event in Battlefield Hobbies. It's a great bunch of guys. The stock is amazing there, so if you're looking to buy yourself some Song of Ice and Fire, you can buy it and do order it before you get there. You can pick it up and use it on the day. How awesome is that? Quality. Um, Obviously, we are trying to build that scene outside Chelmsford. So we're trying to build this scene in Battlefield Hobbies in Daventry alongside the DLS guys who run their events up there as well. So a massive shout out to Aaron. Then we have Blood over Highgarden. So this is the event that we're struggling to push tickets for at the minute. We're really trying to agitate and sort of bring out the song community in Kent. I don't think we've gone probably deep enough into Kent to try and get people further afield into the event. We've got some awesome names there. Pascal's playing, Isaac is playing, so there's lots of different people knocking around that are gonna jump on board and play some awesome song of Ice and Fire with us. Yeah, so do grab tickets for that. We have kept the entry fee quite low for this to try and get more people in. I think it's only a 3-game event as well, so it should be should be easy enough to play along if your first tournament. It's bite-sized enough for you to get cracking on with it. Yeah, so yeah, put a shout in the chat if you come into any of these. If you're looking to potentially come to some of them, it'd be good, cool to see you there. Yeah, so that's just a quick skim of the events that we've got going on. There is another event from the Leonard's Games guys coming up. I have been sent over the artwork, but I've been really crap at uploading it up on here, so that will be ready for next time. I do apologise, Thomas, but we will get it on here and we'll promote your event. It's all good. Cool. Okay, guys, so this leads us into the main chunk of the episode today, I guess, the Brotherhood banners. This has been covered by quite a few different content creators already. We just sort of want to grow it over a little bit and add our own stamp to it. Hopefully James will be with us at some point quite soon, so we can grab his feedback. So James has been doing a lot of list theory and math hammering this to try and work out what he's going to be using. Obviously, James is going to be using Brotherhood banners for our Squires of Ice and Fire series as well. So quite interesting to see what he does there. So you guys looking forward to Brotherhood banners? You looking forward to getting these guys on the table? I know that there's a lot of people who've been waiting for quite a long time from the song community. Still a little bit strange they managed to get a whole faction out of, basically a bunch of guerrilla warfare guys, but it's a new faction, right? So it's got to be great for the game. Cool. So just give me 2 seconds. I'll see if I can dial James in. Cool. So good news, guys. James is just dialing in now. So I'll get him on board, talk. As much as I love hearing my own voice, I've been doing stuff at work all day, and listening to me talk is boring. There's only so many times I can go and then say something, right? So just get James in. Sorry guys, just got to remember that James is a very small individual. He's actually still the only man that Warwick Davis is able to spink over the top of.
Hello?
You with us?
I hope so.
I hope so too. This is I'll be honest, mate. I feel very alone right now. I feel like I've been sitting here talking about events coming up, and we've got to Brotherhood about Banners bit, and I'd said about 50 times. I'll be honest, I'm on my own. I feel very lonely.
Well, I'm here now. Oh, what a journey.
What a journey. How was it? Did you manage to destroy the ring? Okay.
Yes.
Oh,
Took
sweet.
a lot longer. Do you know what I should have done?
What's that?
I should have flown the Eagles to Mordor.
Yeah, but it made a shit film, right?
It would have, yeah, it really would have. It's all about the quest.
Yeah, definitely, definitely. Right, so we can get through this Brotherhood banner stuff, mate. Yeah. Um, so I've just gone
Yeah,
through.
yeah, catch me up, catch
Yeah,
me up.
yeah. So I've just gone through the tournament stuff. I don't know if there's anything you want to add, but basically we're just talking about the warfare stuff. Obviously you can't make that, but I think Carly's trying to make it now. The Ribble Rumble was sold out. Joy's Realm was Warlands of the South, getting stuck into that. Battle of Three Swords, a sold out event, which we're going to cover next episode, depending on whether or
Yep,
not you can bother to turn up. And then
I'll try to.
the Battle of Chain Stag 2 and Blood over Highgarden. So yeah, yeah. Cool. So we
Yeah,
got
it's all.
we, we got we
Oh,
got we got Chris Baker in the chat. Do you remember Chris and his awesomely painted army at LGT a couple of years ago? Chris
uh,
F&M?
Lannisters, yeah?
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Yeah, with the really cool stone bases and the the Faith guys. Oh, come on, brain, get with it.
Poor fellows.
That are all rainbow coloured. Yeah, 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 yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
all
I
convertible. Yeah,
remember.
yeah. Nice. Yeah. Well, Chris,
I
we
remember.
actually speak to Chris during the LGT, and he's talking about coming back to Brotherhood. So it makes sense that he's here joining us, talking about the tramps in the trees.
Oh, nice. Yeah. To be honest, I'm feeling a lot of good vibes from a lot of people about Brotherhood.
Hmm, definitely,
Um,
mate.
yeah, they got some really really cool design space. And I think they're quite a nice little hobby project as well.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. Well, obviously, we're going to get into that with the Squires of Ice and Fire, so it'll be interesting to follow everyone's journey with that.
Yes,
But yeah,
absolutely.
welcome to the chat, Chris, mate. Good to see you there. Chris is casting resin at the minute, but he says he's going to type every 10 minutes. So one of his comments, which I think is quite apt, is he says about it feels like most of the Brotherhood Without Banner list building will be centered around what Stark or Baratheon unit are you taking. I think there is some element of truth to that. How do you feel about that?
Yes and no.
Yo,
Yes, I think that basically, yeah. I think there is an element of that, and you're probably right that whichever powerhouse unit you pick, you're then building your Brotherhood around units around that.
hmm,
However, I think there's actually some really cool builds that you can do with just the Brotherhood units, which is kind of weird because it's a very small roster.
yeah,
And I think it is. We'll talk about it in a bit, but I think it's largely centered around the peasants, right? Because for 4 points, they are so good,
yeah,
like just so good. And I think whatever you pair them with, you can make them good. So yeah, there's some really cool design space. But if we start going through it, we'll pick bits up as we go along.
for sure, mate, for sure. So I'm just going to change the screen now onto so basically going to the blank side of it. So just talking about Brother Banners, how do you think their what do you think their identities of faction? So for what I'm getting personally is it's a lot around healing, a lot around manoeuvring. They don't tend to have a lot of punch to the cards and units. What's your sort of initial thoughts around them?
Yeah, well, the deck is they're a guerrilla warfare style army, aren't they? And I kind of feel like the deck plays into that. So you've got a little bit of healing, you've got a little bit of movement, a little bit of kind of tricksy stuff. They kind of do a little bit of staying alive, and they're kind of like they're like a scalpel army, aren't they? So
Mm,
they'll pick a point and they'll do a lot in one kind of place, and then hope that the rest of it's kind of all sort of holds the line.
yeah,
Um, So yeah, the deck is interesting. It is different. It's not what I was expecting from them. I wondered if they were going to be like a full-on aggro Azor Ahai, let's get everyone in everyone's face kind of thing. But actually, I think what they've turned out to be is quite interesting. And there's certainly a lot of different ways you can play them, which is kind of weird given that they're such a small faction.
Yeah, I think the problem is with it being a faction that could potentially have been all in your face, Azor Ahai and all that stuff. I think that it already exists within the Baratheon faction. I think you got
Yep.
the Lightbringers, the Royal Faithful, Stannis One True King. I think a lot of them do that aggravating Azor Ahai stuff, and obviously although the Brotherhood has that element to it, they're not. It's not the theme running through it, which I think has been quite a bit of feedback. Is that people are upset that they've gone for the Azor Ahai and the R'hllor side rather than the Guerrilla side. But on the other hand, you got to look at the commanders. So the commanders are bringing the R'hllor side of it. Thoros of Myr, Beric Dondarrion, Catelyn Stark. They're all very heavily R'hllor driven. Been either brought back by R'hllor or a R'hllor priest. So it's going to sit in that little bit as well until they bring out potentially a box. I think this is I don't know if they've announced it being a mini faction, but it definitely seems like a mini faction. Same with Bolton. So potentially we're going to be looking at a R'hllor heavy thing going forward completely for them. So, and the fact that the shield has got a flaming sword on it, so sort of
Well,
shows
yeah, I
where
mean
they want to
that
go.
helps. But then okay, so setting like the lore side of it to one side, and I'm putting my Simon marketing hat on. If you're promoting the lead characters of this faction to be the TV characters that we love with the flaming sword and like the reviving priest and that kind of it, and they're really in your face with how this faction plays, I kind of feel like they had to go down that route
Mm-hmm.
just to kind of push that out to people that aren't so, that have watched the show and they're going to buy this faction because they like the characters from the show rather than having read the lore in the book.
Yeah,
That's just that just might be the other side of the coin, but not that matters to us because we are all about lore and fluff and all that kind of stuff.
lore of fluff and stuff. That's what we have
Yeah,
that's what we have my headstone. Well, let's get stuck into lore and fluff and stuff then. So first up,
that
we've
sounds
got
good.
the army rule. So on the screen now, we have the Brotherhood banner card. So it says Robert is slain, but his realm remains, and we defend her. So that's obviously the motto of the Brotherhood banners. This card says that you reduce the cost of one attachment included in your army by one. We see that in the Bastard Boy rule in Bolton. So it looks like this is something they're going to start rolling out to more factions, which, to be honest, I would welcome this because it's going to bring out more attachments within units. And also, it says your army may include one combat unit chosen from House Baratheon or House Starks as part of its non-neutral points total. So this is on top of the neutral allowance you're allowed as well.
Yep.
So yeah, some quite nice fluffy themey stuff there. What I will say is when we look at the first rule, the reduce the cost of an attachment by 1 point. There is no unnamed attachment in this entire army at the moment. It's literally just named characters, which is, well, I'm gonna say it's fucking awesome. Azor Ahai.
Yeah, I think it makes a lot of sense though, right? Because within their faction, they're so small that are they likely to have an unnamed kind of, like a sergeant style character leading troops? Probably not. So I think the fact that they're led by actual name characters is pretty cool in terms of design space and probably the fluff as well.
Yeah,
Um,
I mean, I could see having captains from different factions that have defected to the Brotherhood, but yeah, I get what you're saying. I think it's just small enough that there's enough name characters to cover all bases, right?
yeah. Um, and obviously this one unit design space is actually quite cool. I mean, this would be one of the ways to make Boltons that little bit better because we all know they're a little bit under par at the moment. But let's say that they could include a Stark or a Lannister unit.
Mm.
That would massively open up their design space, wouldn't it? And make them a bit better.
Yeah, yeah,
So
definitely.
yeah, this is cool. I like this, especially for a mini faction. I think it just gives them that one little piece that they might be that you might be missing to make a good competitive list. So
Yeah, definitely. So after this, we'll go for a tactics deck first. So up on screen, we'll go through all the cards, and then we'll have a discussion about it. So yeah, so we got. Do I read them out? Fuck it, I'll read them out. But the rule remains: so start of any turn, start one friendly combat unit, target one friendly combat unit, and attach this card to them until the end of the game. Each time a friendly infantry or cavalry unit is destroyed, place one order token on this card. At the start of a friendly turn, you may remove one order token from this card. If you do, restore 3 wounds to this unit. While this card has an order token, the attached unit may not gain condition tokens. And this is potentially one of the strongest quest cards I've ever fucking seen in this game.
it's pretty sweet, right?
Yeah, just being able to just not gain condition tokens, that is huge. That is massive. Obviously, you're about to lose a unit to have it, and you spend the token to heal 3 wounds, but just to not be able to gain any condition tokens, that is massive.
So like, well, I would jumping ahead a little bit, but like in an army that has 4-point basically chaff units that can die quite easily, that card is super powerful.
Yeah, totally
I mean,
agree,
you could even argue that it's worth sacrificing a unit just to switch this onto your big hitter.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's a great card, really good card.
Yes. And it pairs really well with another card that we're going to look at in a minute.
Cool. Also, you've always spent more time reading this stuff than I have. Which,
yes.
I'm glad that eventually you turned up, because if you hadn't turned up, I might have been a bit shit here. But
so if we look at the last card on that list, which is the Forgotten Fellowship, so start of any round, target one friendly combat unit, it performs a march or retreat, then becomes weakened. Oh wait, I've got but the row remains on me, so I'm not taking the weaken token, and now I've marched, and now I'm in your rear, and hey, guess what? My first action of the round is to charge you.
Yeah. This is just a revamped false march, isn't it? Like the old card.
Yes,
And
it is.
they took it out because that was a bit saucy with it. But they put it back in again now, so we're winning.
Yes, but this is this weird thing. It's like we have this problem with neutrals where it's quite difficult to get the neutral balance right because of some weird interactions you might have in other factions.
Yeah.
And because they can pick the one unit from Starks or Baratheons, I wonder if they hadn't really quite considered how powerful that combination could potentially be.
Yeah. And you have to remember that it can be the Stark and Baratheon stuff as well. Is not being able to or being able to march stuff up quickly and not take tokens on some M units is pretty fucking powerful, right?
Well, yeah, we're all looking at Cavaliers, I suppose, aren't we? And Cavaliers that can't take tokens and then can march at the beginning of the round and then activate and charge you in the rear with Lance.
Yeah.
Is horrible.
Have we had an answer on whether or not they can take loyalty specific stuff?
Yes. We haven't had an answer. However, let me just grab the Baratheon thing and I'll read it out and then explain how it works. Okay, so it says your army may never contain units or attachments with different loyalties. Yeah, that's what loyalty stands for, Baratheon. Your army may never contain units or attachments with different loyalties. So you don't have any other loyalties. If you pick Kingsmen, for example, there aren't any other loyalties for it to clash with because you can only take one Baratheon unit. Same as if you say Riders of Highgarden or whatever.
Yeah.
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 So, that's the way I would read that.
Yeah. Oh, fair enough. If anyone's got any different opinion on that, definitely chuck it in the chat. So I just I had to leave the room for a moment now. You was literally talking to yourself, but whatever you said, I agree with it.
Oh, excellent.
Nice. Hi Naz, how's it going, mate? You alright? Yeah, okay. So that's does open up some options, right? Then we have take up the sword. When a friendly combat unit activates, that unit performs one morale test. On a success, choose one. Either it restores one wound plus one additional wound for each of its destroyer ranks, or target one enemy combat unit in long range becomes panicked and weakened. That's a decent card as well, isn't it? We're not seeing any weak cards in this deck.
Nope, they are all good. There are no weak cards at all.
Awesome. Then we have Regroup and Reform. That we know this card from
Free folk?
Free Folk, yeah, and also there's a Breathing Command does as well, isn't it? Justin Massey, I think, has it as well. So that's quite nice, especially those cheap attachments. Switch them around and double them up. We'll go and get into attachments in a moment, but there's obviously an attachment that can go with another attachment. So we have the same thing as we do with the Free Folk, where you can end up with two attachments that probably aren't supposed to be with each other, standing next to each other, which could open up some really cool combos. And obviously it's a great healing card as well. We have
Yeah, again, especially when you've got low point units that you can use to heal all your good stuff.
little batteries of healing.
Yep.
Then we have Azor Ahai, which we know from Stannis 1 True King. So when a friendly unit is performing a panic test after rolling dice, that unit can only suffer a max of one wound from failing this test. If this targets your commander's unit, pass this test instead, then all enemies engaged become weakened. It's quite a nice card, very situational, but still quite a nice card.
Yes, but so this again pairs really well with some of the commander cards that require you to pass a morale test. So, and I'm from memory, those commander cards have kickers that have additional bonuses when it's the commander's unit. So you play this to auto pass your panic test to guarantee you, then you can play a follow-up card that does something else really cool. So actually, it's a really useful card in the deck.
Yep. Sudden Retreat. I won't go over that because we all know that anyway. That's a pretty old card. It's quite a few factions. Knights of Hollow Hill. When a friendly combat unit is targeted by an enemy ability or tactics card, that unit performs one morale test. On a success, cancel the effect of that ability or tactics card. Then that unit may perform a 3-inch maneuver. That's just bollocks, isn't it? It's quite a strong card, right?
Yes, it is. It's Flayed Men has no secrets on steroids, right?
Yeah. Nice.
Because most of the Brotherhood units all have really good morale. And the other side of it is that you're probably saving this card for your Dark or Baratheon unit that you're putting into your list, which is probably an elite unit, which has also probably got really good morale. So that really helps.
Yeah. I think.
Oh, that's a. Go on. Just say Carl's just posted in the chat.
Yeah, fuck him. He's a blowout, isn't he? What the thing is as well, we'll have it's another maneuvering card, right? So it's another maneuvering ability for the army. So we've got the Forgotten Fellowship gives you that false march. We've got the Knights of Hollow Hill giving you that maneuver. Sudden Retreat, giving you some more maneuvering. Like it really is pushing you to move quite a lot on the tabletop, which is nice. Obviously playing a Targaryen army, you're gonna enjoy some of these extra movement shenanigans, right?
Absolutely. But it plays very differently to how the Targaryens work. These are a bit more tricksy. So these are very situational. I'm going to do this at this really precise moment in the game to change it. Whereas I think the Targaryen one is more about getting into the right position earlier on to then make the table space more advantageous to you. So it will play very differently to how Targaryens play. And it will play very differently to like a Robb Stark style Stark list as well.
Yeah, definitely, mate, definitely. I've got to apologise to Carl because he's just thrown his toys at the pram.
Bless him.
Yeah. So we love you. We do love you, really. Yes, Naz. Knights Hollow Hill is a ridiculous card. That's crazy, especially when you've got so much stuff with great morale. You know, especially when you think
Yeah, I think
you can take on board Rule Faithful, you know, as your one unit, and they've got like morale fucking 4, haven't
yes, but they've all got good morale. So you've got Kingsmen, good morale. The Tullys Cavaliers got good morale. You might see Winterfell Guards. Is it the 7.1?
they? Yeah,
The new ones.
yeah,
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 yeah. I think they're morale 6, maybe a 5. Can't remember. But again, you know, I think all of those the flex units from those factions you're going to pick are all going to be the elite ones that are all going to have good morale. So yeah, I think your commander is going to be probably based in there, and there's so many tools in here just to keep your commander's unit going, whatever you put them in.
yeah. Definitely. Well, let's talk about commanders, mate. Let's get stuck in some of the commanders. But yeah, guys, keep the comments coming in the chat, and we'll keep dipping back if we need to. So that's not a problem. So first up, we'll start with Beric Dondarrion, the Lightning Lord. Now, obviously, this is a massive character in the books. It's definitely a massive character in the show. So the guy that basically can't die until he needs to die. This is, I'll put him down as being your aggressive commander, right? This is your attack commander. We normally get one in the start set, so I feel this is the guy that fulfills that role. He comes with the Order Sentinel. He comes with Duty to the Crown, which is each time you pass a morale test, you restore a wound. If you control the crowns, +1 wound, and Pathfinder, which makes sense for Brotherhood because obviously a guerrilla style faction. He comes with Assault Orders, Lightbringer, and 6 times too many. So Assault Orders we know and love. Lightbringer is after a friendly combat unit completes a melee attack, target one enemy unit in short range of the attacker. It suffers 1 panic test with -1 to their roll for each of their destroyed ranks. If the attacker is Beric's unit, the target also becomes panicked. And 6 times too many. When a friendly infantry unit would be destroyed by a melee attack, that unit is not destroyed, but it still remains in play with 1 wound. Attaches cards to this unit to the end of the game. While attached, this unit cannot be targeted by friendly or enemy orders or tactic cards. So 1 standard card and 2 brand new cards for Beric, and it's a decent suite of cards, right?
Absolutely, they're all really good, all super useful. Lightbringer probably the weakest of the 3. But again, you're probably putting Beric in something that's going to hit really hard. So after he's hit you hard, you then have to take another panic test with a panic token. So yeah, I think it's actually quite good.
Yeah, he's a great character. It's good to see him usable on the tabletop, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And I really like 6 times too many is a really cool card, just for its theme.
Mm-hmm.
I like the idea that it's just unit dies and Beric's just kind of standing there, just waving his flaming sword around. The only problem I can see with this card is it might force you to want to put Beric in either Kingsmen or Queensmen, because then you have 2 lots of to the last and 6 times too many.
Yeah.
Which makes Beric very irritating to destroy.
Yeah.
4 shots at keeping him on the table, right?
Yeah. Although would you
Plus all
bet?
the healing cards and things. So yeah, I think he's going to be quite frustrating to play against.
Yeah, but then if you've targeted once with 6 times too many, you can't target again with it, can you? Because he can't be targeted by tactic cards after that.
Oh yes, that is true.
Still,
Ignore that.
so
3
times, right?
times.
Yeah,
3 times, yeah.
yeah. Still pretty sweet, right?
It's not 6 though, is it?
It's not 6, no, it's 3. But you know, you got to be fair with things. You know, the only people who can bring people
Yeah.
back that many times is Ragers. So yeah, that's cool, Commander. Next up, we have Forest of Mir. So he's got. No, I've not compared him. Is his ability the one that's on the Law Faithful, or is it different? It's different, isn't it? Yeah. Prayers
It
to
is,
R'hllor.
yeah, slightly different.
This unit gains a +2 to morale test rolls and begins the game with 1 faith token. Each time it passes a morale test, it gains 1 faith token. Faith tokens may be expended to do the following: When this unit performs a melee attack before resolving that attack, this attack gains Sundering and Vicious. Also, when an enemy in long range fails a panic test, target one friendly unit in long range of this unit. For each wound the enemy suffered from this test, restore one wound to that friendly unit up to 3. So again, we see a lot of healing in this in these cards in this faction. I wonder if there's enough healing to repair mine and Carl's relationship now.
Definitely, and some.
Yeah. He comes with Love by the Small Folk, which is a Loris Tarot card. It also explains why you enjoy the faction so much.
Yeah, absolutely right.
I love that we have the banter. It's just awesome, isn't it?
Yeah, I'm all good with that.
Don't make a ginger joke because I'm not alright with it.
I did think I was going to start, and I thought, no, I'll leave poor Samuel alone.
Awesome. I'm not fucking Sam. What are you talking about? I'm fucking Aragorn. Anyway, right.
What?
Love by Small Folk. We know that
Absolutely
card.
not.
Don't come in here and diss me on my fucking channel, mate. It's out of order.
Yeah, you're number 2, right?
Number 1, Hero. He comes with Fiery Charge, which you know from Axel Florent, and The Last Kiss, which is the only Forest only card in this deck. Well, I say Forest only, but you know what I mean? It's the only card that is specific to this commander. It is when a friendly attachment will be destroyed. Instead of being destroyed, place that attachment in a combat unit of the same type, ignoring the usual attachment restrictions, replacing a model as usual. And it also comes with a kicker: start of any turn, draw one tactics card. That's a really nice ability. Again, it's another way of staying alive, another way of grinding out as a faction. Like, it's hard because you've got 3 commanders in this faction, all of which look great. Like Beric, Forrest, and Catelyn all look great. They're all really cool fluff wise. They seem all to be strong in their own way. So do you want to talk us through your thoughts behind Thoros?
Yeah, I mean, his actual commander ability is really good. I don't think it matters where you put him. He's going to be super useful. Whether you go like full on aggro melee style, using your faith tokens for the Sundering of Vicious, or I think the place you're probably going to see him is in a ranged unit.
Well, actually, Chris Baker's just put in the chat that about putting Thoros in She Bears because obviously you get the +2 morale test for the Warcry then as well,
Yeah, that's a really good shout.
and you obviously get a photo token as well.
I'm thinking he's going to go really well in Lightbringers.
Yeah.
And the reason for that is if you are shooting long range with Vicious, they're more likely to fail their panic test.
Heal you.
And then you can proc the second ability on his Predator Allure. Yes, obviously it makes it more difficult to get the faith tokens because you're not actively in combat. But then it means if you're not being attacked by your opponent, they're not fighting your Lightbringers, and they're just going to absolutely ruin everything.
Yeah.
Plus, obviously, there's some other bits and pieces that allow Brotherhood to take morale tests. So.
Yeah, and just in the chat as well, Naz is saying about the Faithful. So obviously, if you put Thoros in the Faithful, they go to morale 2.
Yep.
So they'll be automatically passing like the morale lessons modifiers, which is right. And also, yes, they would get 2 faith tokens for each time they pass a morale test because the Heart of Fire and Heart of Fire ability from the Rule Faithful and the prayers to R'hllor are different rules, so they can both get the same thing because it's not an order. So yeah, make sure you buy.
You could also spend the faith tokens at the same time.
Yeah.
If you so wish to. But
That's good though, because it makes him. That's good because that sort of it enforces that synergy with the R'hllor stuff.
Yeah, just having a refresh there. So, does anything stack? So +1 to hit and vicious is the only thing
So you'd
So
get
essentially, you could spend 2 faith tokens, and you would get +1 to hit. You'd get vicious and the sundering.
yeah.
Which makes them quite good.
Yeah, it helps with the charge reroll as well. If you
Yeah.
successfully charge, they become panic. So yeah, there's a lot of synergy between Forest and the Rule of Faithful. But again, you'd hope they would be right. They're supposed to be on the same cult.
Same wavelength. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, they're really cool. Just going back to Carl's comment in the chat about the deck being very strong. What are the chances it will see a slight nerf to the deck to be a faction specific attach and not the allies? Yeah, potentially.
Can't see it.
But it needs to be strong because the limited amount of units they have. I mean, I think that's what the Boltons. Myself and Brett did lots of stuff when the Boltons were released, and we said that before we see the deck, we said the deck needed to be really good to compensate for the fact that there isn't going to be much release for the faction. And I think this is what we're seeing in this faction. That the tactics deck is so good they'll be able to stand on their own without having a massive choice of units. Although they've got obviously access to the whole Stark and Baratheon roster, you can only take one of them, and the rest is all R'hllor stuff, right?
Well, yeah, the rest of just the Brotherhood
Brotherhood,
stuff, and
not R'hllor.
the points are a bit janky for them, so it's quite difficult to fit stuff in that's going to be like overpowered.
Mm-hmm.
Because let's face it, if you fill your entire roster full of 4-point peasants, you're not going to win games.
Well, depends.
Oh yeah.
Depends if they're from Romford, doesn't it? But the granny out here.
You reckon?
Yeah, from Romford, yeah, fucking well, aren't they? Like, go out and drink like Jaeger bombs and that and fight people.
I mean, I'd say it's more Lambrini, but okay.
And yeah, I'll just leads on to our last commander. So there's quite a bit of text to get through here, so I'm going to MC through this shit. So Catelyn Stark, Lady Stoneheart, awesome to see Catelyn Stark in Brotherhood banners. And it was something that I was looking forward to when they got around to it, and it's quite quick out of the gate as well to drop it. So she comes with Horrific Visage, Intimidating Presence. We know this combo on, well, you know it from Blackguards and Danny, Queen and Marine. The combo from Roos in Blackguards. That Horrific Visage at a minus a fully ranked unit then becomes -4 with a +1 wound on it. And that's solid. That is really solid. And that sort of makes up for the fact that obviously having a throat slit by House Bolton and Walder Frey, that makes up for the lack of access to Bolton Blackguard or Blackguards. So
Yes.
So we'll just quickly go through it. So that's great combo on a commander attachment. I would love to have access to this card for most factions. I'm honest, it's a great combo of abilities. She comes with Price of Failure, which we've seen before. It's Mountain card, I believe, as well as a Weeper card. All attack dice rolls automatically hit this attack after this attack is completed. If the defender was not destroyed, the attacker becomes panicked and vulnerable. It's not such a massive thing to sort of deal with, really, that panicked and vulnerable, especially if you've got a card that says, you can't take panic tokens.
Yeah.
That might be quite nice. Lash Out, it's a great card. Seen it in most other factions or a few other factions. Vengeance
and
in
it's
Blood.
great in a faction that has 4-point peasants.
Yeah, yeah. Well, to be fair, that was the issue with Free Folk, which I think is why they took Lash Out away from Steel, wasn't it?
Yep, it was.
Yeah, so better put it somewhere else. It's nice when people learn from their mistakes, isn't it?
Yep, they don't.
And and Vengeance in Blood is the only Catelyn specific card in the deck. So after enemy completes a melee attack, if it destroys a friendly rank, target one friendly combat unit that was not the defender. They may perform one maneuver or march action. If this is Catelyn's unit, they may perform one charge or attack action instead. So actually,
So this is like
Eddard's
this
card.
is like yeah. It's a combination of Fury for the Fallen and is it Diversion Tactics?
Yeah,
Yeah, it's basically a mash of those two cards together, which makes this very good.
yeah, really good.
Like ridiculously good. And the fact that her commander card is really good as well. You put her in a heavy hitting unit, and yeah, her cards are just so good, so good. Comboed with the main deck, the problem is that all of these commanders are really good. All the cards are really good. Which one are you going to choose?
Yeah. She comes with unending vengeance as well, which is if Catelyn Stark is included in your army, you may not include the following factions, units, attachment characters. So nothing House Bolton, faction and neutral units. Nothing, no Dreadful Captain, Bolton Flayers, Roose Bolton, Ramsay Snow. So anything Bolton and Walder Frey NCU. For obvious reasons, she had a bit of a shit time knocking around with these people at her son's wedding. Spoilers, don't watch it, it makes me sad. Friendly combat units may reroll any charge distance dice when performing charge actions against the units listed above. Units containing the above listed attachments or House Lannister units. Now, this is the first time we have seen a properly focused thing against another faction. Well, we don't see this anywhere else, right? This is literally only Catelyn Stark she's ramped up against House Lannister and House Bolton stuff. And because obviously House Bolton needed something to be fucking scared of because they're so obviously great in the game. Now they're going to be shit in their pants when they see Catelyn Stark. Before we get into this properly, just going to go back to the chat. So Nazza said, I haven't seen enough on it to know, but they are. Are they still allowed to take the 1 unit from Breath and Stark? Yes, they are, mate. Yep,
Yes.
the Breath and Stark unit is on top of the neutral points allowance. So, yeah.
And there's no points. There's no point cap on that unit that they can take. So whatever, 4 points, 8 points. I don't know. If Path Baratheon get a 15-point unit, crack on.
It's a 15-point unit, mate, with adult dragon. So yeah, it's a great set of commanders there. So
Is just jumping in very quickly. I can't remember if it is this one, but the back of Catelyn's card, I'm sure it says she can't be included in an army that also includes Beric.
that's the NCU, I believe, right?
And I don't know if it's both.
Okay. It's definitely on the NCU because when I was putting asset skills on there, but yeah, I mean, well, let's have a look. I'm staying there. Let's have a look. Don't move.
Because I think that's the trade-off. Is that Catelyn's really good because you have to sacrifice using probably the other best character that's available to you, even as just an attachment. We'll talk about that again in a minute.
Yeah, so I'll put on screen now the NCUs. We'll go back to them later on in the conversation, but yeah, at the back of the NCU card, it's got may not be filled in an army containing Beric Dondarrion. I don't know if that's on the back of the
Commander card as well.
Yeah. I'll tell you what, let's crack on other stuff, and whilst we're talking through it, I'll go back and have a look and try and find it. Or if people know in the chat, let us know. You know, you've come here for us to tell you about banners, but if you could help us out, that'd be well handy. Just quickly before we move on for commanders in, so what's your favourite commander? Which one are you going to be running?
Why did you ask me that question? Need to double check what Catelyn's flip side is, but I personally think it's going to be Tauros, because then that allows you to take Beric that allows you to take Beric as an attachment. He's really good. And then Catelyn, I don't know. It's actually really difficult. I think they do two very different things. So I think it depends on how your playstyle is. So, because what Catelyn brings is a defensive tech to the army, which we don't have anywhere else. So she's going to be your go-to if you're going to be playing into Gregor Clegane, or you're playing into like an aggro Night's Watch, or you're playing into Knights and stuff, or stuff that's fast. You probably want to build her around something that's a bit more tanky and a bit more defensive. And then the other two are your aggros. So in terms of our list pairings, I think you'll probably see a Catelyn, and then you'll see one of the other two, depending on what your flavour is.
Yeah, I've just looked at my assets. I haven't got anything that shows the back of her commander card. It's definitely on the back of the NCU card, but I can't see anything for the commander card. It's not on the assets that I have. So watch this space.
Yeah, I think it was. We'll carry on. I'm pretty sure it was in the article. Let me just see if I can find it while we carry on.
Yep. Well, you should look, and I'm going to quickly introduce our first unit. So the first unit we have is the Peasant Levy. They're a 4-point unit. They have movement 5. They've got Spiral, which is a 5+ attack profile, 6/4/3 depreciation, a 6+ armor save, a 6+ morale. They come with Disrupt, which is enemies engaged units suffer -1 to hit, and Gang Up, which is all 3 units melee attacks gain +1 to hit and +1 attack die on enemies that are engaged with this unit and at least one other friendly unit. This is very much a support battery for the army, right? For 4 points, you're gonna see at least one in the army, right? That are gonna help to use some of these cards to heal. That are gonna help your heavy hitting units hit even harder. Going back to the Kingsmen, if these Kingsmen are in combat with these guys as well, the Kingsmen are throwing 8 dice at top ranks, hitting on 2s with Sundering, critical blow, depending on if you've got the crown with rerolls. That is massive. The Peasant
Yeah.
Levy, James, what's your initial thoughts on them? And while you do that, I've got to nip out the room for 2 secs, but talk and pretend I'm here.
So the peasants are bonkers good. Like, I think they're too good for 4 points. Especially when you compare them with so many other things to give extra dice, because that's what you're basically using them as a support piece for the rest of your army. Let's say you're lining them up against Cavaliers, or you're using Kingsmen, and the Faithful, Winterfell Guards, all of these other Stark or Baratheon units are really heavy hitters. You sling them in there again with the peasants in support, and your gang up's basically guaranteeing that all your dice are probably going to hit, and you're getting extra dice on top of something that's really good. And then when you get hit back, you're -1 to hit your like uber powerful unit.
Yeah, nice.
So yeah, I think I think they're probably too good for 4 points.
Yeah, but you know, 6 armor save, 6+ morale. You hit them with something hard enough where they can explode in dust, right?
Yes, that is true. But then you work on the theory that if you're running around killing peasants, then you're not killing stuff that actually matters.
Nice. Then we have a couple of 6-pointers. So the first 6-point unit are the Men at Arms. So they are movement 5, so another quite quick unit. They have a Brotherhood Armaments attack ability, which hits in a 4+ with 7/6/4 depreciation. They have a 4+ armor save, a 6+ morale. They come with Ambush, which is enemies this unit successfully charge in a flank or rear become panicked and weakened. And the Brotherhood Armaments rule gives you critical blow as standard. You just get a critical blow. But if you have the crowns, or if your opponent does not control the crowns in the same way as Kingsmen, this attack gains +1 to hit and Sundering. This is a unit I think are going to be quite strong. I think might be a problem. The ambush thing I'm not really bothered about. I think that's very situational as a rule. We've seen it on multiple units. It never makes them crazy good on the strength of this rule. But I think the critical blow and the not controlling the crowns, gaining +1 hit and Sundering, hit on 3s with Sundering, I think is extremely good for a 6-point unit, right?
Yes, and I think they, on the face value of it, for 6 points, they probably look a little bit underpowered compared to some other 6-point units. Again, you have to think of everything in this faction alongside the fact that they have a 4-point peasant support unit that gives them disrupt and the gang up. So if you line these guys up next to your peasants, all of a sudden, right, they are 8/7/5 attack profile hitting on 3s.
Yeah.
Which is pretty good. Critical blow all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then on top of that, I've got the crowns, so now I'm hitting on 2s.
Yeah.
And I have critical blow and Sundering. They just get really good. I mean, we can talk about builds later, but like this is perfect for having Peter Baelish in your army, right? Because that turn that you need to control all the zones and everything's all aligned, you can just switch these guys on and they'll just munch through stuff for 6 points.
Yeah, but it's not you controlling the crowns, is it? It's about the opponent not controlling the zone.
Yes, but what I'm saying is that you could then put Peter on the crowns,
Yeah.
block the zone, and then do whatever you want.
Okay. Yeah. Fair. Yeah. Yeah. They are powerful, mate. I think they're a good unit. 6 points.
Yeah,
Cool.
I think they're good.
Um.
And you sounded very quickly just on ambush. Yes, situational rule, but if you look at it paired up with the tactics deck and the commander cards, which have
Yeah.
got loads of movement abilities in them,
Yeah.
suddenly ambush becomes a lot more important or usable.
Yeah. Yeah. And also there's an attachment battle flank as well, which helps get ambush. Yeah.
Yes.
We just if you're playing against a clever opponent, know what eventually they'll learn how to position that doesn't happen. But I think even without ambush, they're a good unit.
Yep. Agreed.
I think this unit might be the problem though. The Brotherhood Archers. So these I quite like these as a unit.
You
There's
reckon?
yeah. Do you not think?
No, I think of the 4 that we've got, they're probably the weakest.
Well, you're a knobhead.
Well, we'll agree to disagree.
I'll put your headlock. So anyway, they're they're movement 6. They've got a hidden shot, which is a long range 3+ hit 764, and a short sword ability which hits in the 5+, 543 depreciation. They've got the same defensive profile as the peasants, so 6+ armor, 6+ morale. They get the order deceitful reposition, which is at the start of an enemy turn. If no enemies are in short range, this unit performs a 3-inch maneuver action, which pairs beautifully with this hidden shot, which I think is how they're going to be quite good on top of the stuff that already is in the faction that allows you to maneuver, because it exposes people's flanks, and that is a hidden shot. So it ignores units and terrain when determining line of sight, which we see on Stark, Bowman, and Bolton Dread Archers, Driftfoot Archers. And it also comes with when attacking enemies in the flank or rear, this attack gains precision and vicious. I think you're going to be from someone that plays a little bit of Greyjoys, that with their ability to re-roll shots in the flank and rear, that's always been really good. I've really enjoyed having that. I think that's a great rule. I think getting precision and vicious could be, well, very good. Um, yeah, so you don't rate them that highly, then?
Plus your negatives for shots or the flank and rear as well.
Yeah,
I just no, I'm not saying they're not good, but I don't think they're as good as the other 3 units that we've got in the faction. I think they're the weakest of the 4, but I'm not saying that they're bad. I think they're, as we've just discussed, the same problem with, that you have with ambush, right? Is that sometimes it's quite difficult to get them into the right position where you are hitting flanks and stuff to be able to switch them on. And in the event that you can't do that, you're losing that ability. And if you take that ability away, they have a really basic profile with no keywords or other abilities. And you're
yeah,
paying 6 points for them. So at 6 points, you need them to do something. And because they're super squishy, with a 6-up, 6-up, if they don't do what you need them to do early in the game, they're going to die if something attacks them.
yeah,
And so like a lot of games, you early on in games when you're trying to outshoot other shooting units, these guys are going to lose. They don't have that capability to shoot other things that also shoot back, which is also a problem.
yeah. But
So
I also think that you have got a lot of healing in the faction to sort of patch up if needed, but also the fact that you've got the ability to be able to move and like this deceitful reposition. It's not enemy turn if no enemies are within short range, so they can use their shot, but then not be in shooting range of them. But then you can make that little 3-inch maneuver before you start, and then shift and shoot, and you're actually shooting them before they can shoot you. I think they're very, for me, they embody that guerrilla style warfare, which is the being
theme, I agree. Theme wise, right? They're perfect.
yeah,
I think the best builds for them are going to be when you want to play not horde style, but you want to play a higher activation list. So you're playing like 2 or 3 peasant units and you're playing a couple of men at arms. So you've got numbers on the board where you can set your almost like your battle line, and then these guys can like shift around 5 inches or so and find the flanks and just shoot at stuff because it doesn't matter what's in the way.
Yeah, definitely. I think I like them. I really like them. I think I think you'll get decent mileage out of them. I think when people start learning how to use them, I think they're going to get
Yeah.
really good
I
mileage
mean,
out
in
of them.
worst case scenario, you put Anguy in them, the outflanker guy. And
Yeah, 8 points. I
that's,
know I suppose you can get 1 point, can't you, if you use their rule, but then that's
yeah, you could.
7 points is a big yeah.
It is, but because they've got the free maneuverability, means even if your opponent turns and faces when you outflank,
Yeah.
you can still use that ability to get further away from them.
Yeah, well, I'll say it'll be really good in this army if they get access to is it quickfire, because they'll be able to shoot twice a turn, right?
I'll see that happening.
That'd be filth on it.
Yes.
You'd be sitting there dribbling away at your mouth. Oh, this is great, Grant. I told you it never happened, but it did. Oh, it's fucking brilliant. Shut up, James. I'll be like, that's what will be happening.
And we'll play an all shooting army. Nothing
All,
else but shooting. That's
all,
it.
all through an army. And that's Cole would win that with his bolt thrower army.
You reckon? Nah, not at all.
To be fair, if Cole wasn't the one rolling the dice, it'd probably be a lot better for him.
That's it. In fact, you know what? I'll just let Carl's dice just beat it
Yeah.
for us.
Right, anyway, before you start rambling about bollocks, next up we have the Brotherhood Sworn Knight. So these are your premier heavy hitting unit in the Brotherhood without banners. So it's an 8 point unit with a 5 movement. It comes with knightly armament attack ability, which is a 3+ hit on a 7/5, which is a good profile for a cavalry unit. Because keep in mind they'll keep that 7 attack up until they lose 6 wounds. They've got a 3+ armor save, which is a solid armor save, a 5+ morale, which is good morale. They come with a cavalry rule. They come with knightly armaments, which is sundering, so they've always got sundering, much the same way as a hedge knight. And if your opponent does not control the crown, this attack may re-roll any attack dice. They also come with Rally the Small Folk, so after this unit completes a melee attack, if this attack destroyed enemy rank, target one friendly infantry unit in long range, they restore 2 wounds. I really like the unit. I think it's a really nice unit. I love the fact they've got to come out of a strong cavalry unit, because we know that cavalry is a big part of this game. I would like to have I don't know what the Rally the Small Folk's good, but they probably should have just put Rally Cry now, because it's pretty much the same thing, other than the fact you've now got destroy rank rather than just when you attack. And it's not like they've got multiple ways of attacking, like Greyjoys have or anything like that. It's just
But
go.
but we had this, didn't we? So what they've actually done is, what we said about learning from mistakes earlier?
Yeah.
We had this with the Glory Seeker, didn't we? Yeah, in the last edition,
Yeah.
he had Rally Cry. And you saw him you had all 8-point cavalry builds, champs and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
All just healing each other. And it was bonkers because you had all this 3-up armor save running around, healing each other, and it was just oppressive. So this still keeps it thematic because the knights are leading the peasants, but not in a way that you can take a full army of knights and they just heal each other.
Yeah.
So that's what it does.
Yeah, but I mean, for me, the problem with the Glory Seeker was the fact that it could be teamed up with, like, as Rid was playing, when you got the champs with the Glory Seeker, because then that 2+ armor save was impossible to get through. I think with a 3+, it's not
Yep.
as bad. And they're still going to be destroying the rank, I think, but it just means you can't heal your cavalry. So I get that. But there's other ways of healing cavalry, right? There's loads of healing mechanics in this army. So maybe they're just trying to spread out the healing a little bit more.
Yeah, I suppose then you use your knights to heal the infantry, and then you use your tactics card and your NCUs to heal the knights.
Yeah.
I guess that's the way you go.
Yeah.
I think these guys are really good.
I thought there was an attachment in this box. Was it? Is there not? Is there not an attachment in it?
No,
All right. Just 2 of the same sculpt.
No, they're all different, right?
I thought there was I can't find a picture of what happens.
I'm just on the article now, so I don't know if they've got a picture. Oh, they haven't actually got a picture of the box. Good, isn't it?
Nice one. It doesn't matter much, right? We'll crack on with the next one. So that's the 4 units that coming out with the starter box. We get into attachments. So we have the 2-point Beric Dondarrion attachment, which is another faith ability. It's Lightbringer. So Beric's unit begins the game with 1 faith token. Each time Beric's unit passes a morale test, it gains 1 faith token. Faith tokens may be expended to the following. When this unit performs a melee attack before resolving the attack gains +2 attack dice. Well, that's disgusting. And when this unit will be destroyed by a melee attack before being removed, this unit performs 1 melee attack using its lowest attack die value. If this unit destroys the defender, this unit is not destroyed but remains in play with 1 wound. That is a solid attachment for 2 points. It's even more solid for 1 point. Thoros of Mir, Faithful Believer, comes with reinforcements, as a rule we've seen before, and Relentless we've seen before. Both extremely good rules. Relentless, obviously, is after you've been attacked, you attack back, and reinforcements, you heal on the crowns. And when you activate. And Gendry. See, Gendry's a 2-point attachment, and I'm glad to see Gendry in the game. It comes with Resilience, which is the order. When an enemy is performing an attack on this unit, after rolling attack dice, this unit only suffers 1 wound for every 2 unblocked hits and improved defences. So whilst you control the crowns, this unit gains +1 to defence dice rolls. If you put him in Queensmen, the Queensmen will not die. I think
Ever.
that's... yeah. So yeah, these are the 3 attachments, and they're strong attachments. I think Beric's a Swiss Army knife of an attachment here. I think, well, it's not really, is he?
So
Because he's really is a very much an offensive attachment, really. And Gendry's your defensive attachment.
Yeah, I genuinely think that we will see less Beric Dondarrion as a commander because his attachment is crazy good.
Yeah.
Also, just to jump on that note, you can include Beric in a Catalan commander list, but you can't have him if you take her as NCU.
No.
That's what I was looking up earlier.
What is it? Is that a fluffing?
Yes, it is. Well, yeah, I suppose it's because the difference, like the name of the NCU is like the Hangwoman or whatever. I don't know why that is. You would have thought it would apply to both characters, but it doesn't look like it does. Not according to the article, anyway, unless I've missed something.
No.
But the unending vengeance only applies to Catelyn Commander. So maybe that's the fluff route they've gone. Is if you take the NCU, you can't take Beric. If you take the Commander, you can't include House Bolton.
Yeah.
So
nice.
There you go. Anyway, yeah, the point that I was making there was because Beric's attachment is really good. That would really push into a Catelyn Commander build with a Beric attachment. Will be pretty nuts. That'll be really good, really strong.
Yeah. That's nice, but it's nice. It's nice they're building characters up right to play, so it's quite nice to see that.
Yeah, do you know what? You look at all the attachments for these guys, and usually, you see a few attachments here and there in games. You don't see lots of them because some of them are a bit overcosted, or you don't really tend to go for it. But I think all of these are actually, for their point, even the 2-pointers are really good. That you might actually see more of them.
Yeah,
which is pretty good for this faction because that's what it's about. It's about the actual characters in this faction leading the regular guys.
And I just thought as well, if you take Winterfell Guard, you'd get Beric Dondarrion for 1 point anyway because they've got adaptive, right?
Yes.
Nice. Dirty, very dirty. Nice attachments though. Yeah, and Gendry, I can't wait to see Gendry in the ball because that's just a really cool character, isn't
he? Yeah, and he's got 2 really cool thematic abilities for him as well, which is nice.
Yeah, I mean, Queensmen with 2+ armor save and resilience can fucking do one.
Yeah, or you put him in 4-point peasants.
Yeah.
And now all of a sudden you've got a 4-point chaff unit that doesn't die as well.
Yeah, nice. Cool. Okay, next lot of attachments. We've got Angai, who comes with Swift Retreat. We know it well as a rule. We've got Tom 7 strings, which is the second lie of Brotherhood banners, because he's only got 5 strings on the model, so he's a liar, not 7 strings. He comes with Taunt.
They ran out of money.
Ran out of strings.
That's it.
And Hot Pie, the long-awaited Hot Pie, who comes with a rule, Hot Pies. Each time this unit activates, it removes 1 condition token. If you control the crown, this unit may restore 1 wound. Angai is the least helpful attachment I think is in this faction so far. But it's still a decent attachment, right? With a Swift Retreat, outflank. Tom 7 strings, the new taunt is good. And Hot Pie, just a fat child, right?
Yeah, I mean, I'm pretty sad for Hot Pie. He's okay, but he's a bit underwhelming for 1 point.
No, you've never eaten his pie, so how do you know?
Well, clearly, the Simon didn't like his pies.
Yeah, well, you wait till you get the commander version. It'd be amazing.
Well, yeah, we're all waiting for that, aren't we?
Yeah. So I think that there's a massive difference between, and that's why I separated the two lots. I think there's a massive disparity between the 3 attachments we've just shown and these 3 attachments. I think Gendry, Beric, fuck is his name? Derek, yeah, Beric Dondarrion, yeah, and Thoros, I think, are very strong attachments. These are good, but the other 3 are fucking oof powerful for 2-point attachments. And these are good. I just don't think they're as good, right?
Yes, I think they're. When you consider, though, that you've got 1 point spare to chuck something in, you might see them pop up every now and again. But yeah, you're right, they're not as good as the others.
Yeah. And then lastly, we've got Eric Dane, the not the Martell version. So he's the Loyal Squire. He comes as Beric's vassal. So all of Beric's cards that would power up because it's Beric would be good for Edric as well. Things like assault orders. The unit that Edric's in would be able to charge off of assault orders. He comes also with regroup, so after completing a retreat action, they restore 2 wounds, plus 1 wound for each of their destroyed ranks. So obviously Edric Dane, also in the back of the card it says, Edric Dane may be included in an army containing Forest of Mir, ignoring the usual attachment, army in a unit containing Forest of Mir, ignoring usual attachment limits. So obviously you can go in a unit with Forest of Mir. So on the strength for that, this is what they look like. So you can go with either the commander version or the attachment version. Yes, it gives you more healing. I don't really know what else it gives you for Forest. Have you done much research into this?
No, you'd only play him in. Because he's Beric's vassal, you'd only play him in a Beric commander-led list, right?
Yeah.
So you're not taking Taurus commander version, so that just goes straight away. And then you're putting him in the Taurus attachment unit, and then his cards don't really gel together. Other than double healing if you retreat. It's a bit pants.
Yeah. I think it's important to sort of take this because this will put 2 attachments in 1 unit. So that means regroup and reform will allow you to swap other attachments out and around. So you better put your Beric into the same unit as Forest, or Gendry into the unit, or one of the other guys into the unit, and swap out either Edric or Forest. So you get that really cool combo. So it's important to sort of try and win your list building to work out what the cool combos might be and how you're going to get around that. The downside is you've got to get the reformatted deck to really make the most out of it, right?
Oh, do you know what? I've just had a little brainwave.
Did it hurt?
You know our favourite sculpted unit that's terrible?
Yeah.
Yeah. So those guys with these might actually be quite good.
Which unit?
The dervishes.
Oh yeah, because of the healing. Yeah. Yeah.
Well, yeah. So Edric goes in dervishes.
Yeah.
In a Beric commander list, so you've got assault orders for the free charge.
Yeah.
Then you can swift retreat and heal.
Yeah.
And then you're free to activate, do whatever you want. Charge again. Yeah, actually. Oh my god, we might have found a use for the dervishes.
I just unlock the dervishes. The way to make dervish work like Targaryen army is to take them in a Brotherhood army.
Yes, that's it.
Fucking hell. We got this shit covered, mate. We're experts at this game. Yeah, cool. Nice combo. Nice combo. Yeah, so then lastly, for NCUs, Catelyn Stark, the Hangwoman. Obviously, if you guys in the chat have got any ideas of how of combos and stuff, do put them in there so we can have a read as well, or just say hello. Really, just let us know how you're getting on. You know, you're making dinner, what you're having, all that sort of shite. Will it work in a similar way to Robb Stark in Dervishes? Yeah, exactly the same. He's got regroup, so that's exactly what it'll be. Other than the fact that you'll have assault orders on the commander's unit rather than where Stark's only have it off the swords. Yeah, that's good combo. Good combo. But we're
Yeah,
still
it'll also have the other Beric card as well.
what's the other one?
The panic test one.
Oh yeah, nice. Yeah, cool. Okay, so let's go for the interviews in quickly because we're at an hour and 20 minutes, so we're dangerously close to film length here, mate. Catelyn Stark Hangwoman. Vengeance at any cost. Influence. When this unit claims a zone, attach this card to a combat unit until the end of the round while influencing an enemy unit. Each time this unit performs an action, before resolving the action, it suffers a wound. Oof, at that. Friendly combat units may reroll any attack dice when performing melee attacks against this unit. It has the caveat that it may not be fielded in an army containing Beric Dondarrion, which is the little loophole thing you've been talking about. What do you think about Catelyn Stark?
Awesome.
Yeah. So I don't think
awesome.
there's not a shit version of Catelyn Stark in the entire game. The Stark version's good, the NCU version in the Brotherhood's good, and the Commander version's good.
Yeah.
Nice.
Maybe the boys at Simon got a little thing going on for Catelyn Stark.
Incoming House Tully mini faction. Doot, doot.
Yep. She's really good.
Do a train noise with me.
Choo choo.
Hey, Thomas.
Yep. She's going in a list with Jack and Agar, right?
Yeah. And that just suffering a wound when it activates is brutal. So brutal. Yeah, it's basically just damning the unit that's going in.
Performs an action.
Yeah. So the
So
Dothraki veterans getting 3 wounds turn now.
yeah, that's what it's going to hurt. This is really good for hurting cavalry. So she goes on there early. Oh, you want a free maneuver? No, not unless you want to take loads of damage.
Yeah.
Also, really good against ranged armies as well.
Ranged armies. You're right. Yeah.
Ranged armies. Yep.
Yeah. Nice. Also, a decent way to get rid of bears as well.
Oh yes. Love this. So that's the answer. So basically, they've released her to solve all the problems.
Yeah.
Anyway, she is very good.
Yeah. Ghost of High Heart, the Woods Witch. Prophet's importance. It's another influence. So when this unit claims a zone, attach this card to a combat unit until the end of the round. While influencing unit, that unit gains +1 to morale tests. Each time a rank in that unit is destroyed, one enemy you engage with becomes vulnerable and weakened. That's okay. Yeah. Do you think it's very good? I think it's Okay, well, I suppose when
Yes.
you got the peasants, I suppose it is fucking powerful, isn't it?
That's it. This is what it comes back to. Like, you have 4-point peasants that die very easily. They're going to lose ranks.
Mm.
And what's their weakest point? Yeah, all right, they got rubbish armor. We expect that. They're 4 points. But 6 up morale becomes 5 up, which makes quite a big difference.
Yeah. And it's when it's the engage with, it's not the units that's doing wounds to them. So if you engage with a couple of units and an attack destroys 2 ranks, you can make 2 units vulnerable and weakened. Oof, have that.
Yes. So actually, she's very good.
Yeah, nice. Ravella Smallwood, Lady of Acorn Hall, allies in the realm. So she begins the game with 3 order tokens on her. At the start of a friendly turn, you may discard 1 order token from Ravella and 1 tactics card. If you do, restore 2 wounds to 1 friendly combat unit. If that unit has only 1 remaining rank, also remove 1 condition token from her. This is the one I'm not that taken by, but what do you think?
Rubbish.
You're rubbish.
Thanks. Poor Ravella. Yeah, she's pants. Because as we've already discussed, tactics cards for this faction are bonkers good. There is no reason that I want to throw one of those away for whatever its effect is versus 2 wins.
Mm-hmm. Especially with access to so
That's
much
it.
healing anyway.
Yep. I think the tactics cards are better than what she brings, so she is pants.
Yeah.
Sorry.
No, I apologise, mate. Whatever.
I'm a bit sad for her. I mean, she would have been better if they wanted to go down this route. They would have been better making her more like Illyrio.
Yeah.
Spend a token to sacrifice action on the board to heals.
Yeah. Nice. Last issue we come with is Thoros of Mir, the Ember. So it comes with fresh converts. Each time Each time a rank in an enemy combat unit is destroyed, place 1 order token on Thoros. Each time Thoros claims a zone, you may replace that zone's effect with restore up to 2 wounds to 1 friendly combat unit. Then you may remove up to 2 order tokens from Thoros. If you do, for each token removed, restore 1 wound to 1 friendly combat unit. So it's all about the heals. That's quite a solid way of healing stuff, right?
Yes, it is.
You're taking Thoros?
He's basically like Illyrio used to be. Sort of.
Yeah.
And he got changed because he was too good. Yeah, but the difference is that he's in an army where all of his options are good. Right? His attachment is good. His commander is good. So I think he's got utility, whatever you choose to do with him.
Yeah.
And what's really cool is that because the commanders are also NCU, so if you take Catelyn, then you can take Thoros as your NCU, or vice versa. So they all kind of link quite well because they're all equally as good as each other. If some of these have been much worse, I think you would have really struggled. But I'm glad actually that apart from Ravella, all of their NCUs are pretty good, unlike the Boltons, which were a little bit sad.
Yeah, I'll get into Bolton. It's not a Bolton chat, but I really liked the Bolton NCUs when they came out. That's just a few tweaks here and there made them a little bit worse, but poor Boltons. But I'm keen on getting them to work though. Me and Carl regularly meet under a tree with a little bonfire, and we have to take our shirts and trousers off. That's what he always insists that we do, and we sit around, we talk about Boltons.
Oh, really? Have you taught him how spread fear works yet?
No, he still won't accept it as long range. Even when we sit around the trees, I say like, spread fear is long range, Carl, and he goes, "Can I see the card?" I haven't got it with me, am I? Well, I'm sitting under the tree with you talking about Boltons, not cards, me. Then he gets angry and leaves. So it's pointless, really. So spread fear is more like Carl fleeing. Well, that was a fucking tangent, wasn't it?
It was. There you go.
Hell of a tangent.
But yeah, anyway, in short, all of these guys, all really good. Yes.
Yeah.
Other than Ravella, unless she's your flavour. But if you want more healing and you're already lots of healing army, take her. Otherwise, leave her at home. Or switch her for any number of the useful neutral NCUs, which will all work really well with this army. So
yeah,
doesn't matter which one you take, they are all useful because you've got 2 influencers. Jaqen's useful.
Yeah.
Varys, good anyway. Peter, I think, is probably going to be really important for these guys. For controlling crowns but not using it. So yeah.
Yeah. Cole, spread fear is not short range, it is long range, you knob. And it is awesome as well. Fear my spread fear. But yeah, so that's done, mate, for Brotherhood banners. It's a bit of a whistle stop thing on it, really, because I say many other content creators have covered it. We've done a little bit on it, and we will, after it's released and it's better settled down a little bit, we will probably do a faction deep dive on it and a tactics deck deep dive on them with a faction expert. So if you get good with them, get in contact. James can't do it. He does Targaryen one. I'm not having the same person twice. Upsets me. Fucks up the feng shui of the world, that does. But
It
yeah,
does, yes.
as a summary of Brotherhood banners, I really like them. I think that they've come out of the gates extremely strong. I think that for me, it's all about the healing and the maneuvering, which is very much a guerrilla style type warfare they're bringing. So yeah, I think I'm excited about them. It's a new play style, right?
Yes. Also, they have done a very good job on the sculpts. They are all very nice.
Yeah, they are. They're very nice, mate. Very nice. I did
They
have
are.
them.
They are.
I did have them on slides, but I can't find it, so I have to leave that maybe another time. Cool. Okay, sweet. So that's probably about done. I went over the events slowly at the beginning, so that's that done. So I guess the last thing to talk about is the Squires of Ice and Fire. So I've already spoke about a card. We now have cards on screen now. So we have me looking all nice and moody. I'm going to be doing Greyjoys. Carl in a suit of armour, mincing. He's going to be doing Targaryens. I did say Steve was going to be doing Boltons in the last thing, but I was wrong. He's doing Martells. So Steve's doing Martells for us. And you'll be doing Brotherhood Banners, which is why we can't do it for ages, because you've got to wait for your fucking army to come out.
Yeah, I know. I know.
And that's actually a real life,
Excited.
and that's a real life picture of you standing on your windowsill, isn't it?
Yep, it is. Looking out.
Yay! A vast barren nothing of no Brotherhood without banners. That's what that is.
Yeah, that's me looking sadly into the beyond at the delays.
Yeah. So yeah, we
Well,
shall.
no, we've actually seen the box. We've seen real boxes. People have boxes from various things, so they do exist. So that's half the battle.
Yeah, we're just not popping enough. It's just because I talk about events on my own at the beginning of our shows, and it's tough to talk about on my own. I've got no one to bounce off of. I can talk myself.
Well, there you go.
But let's talk a little bit about Squires of Ice and Fire. So the idea behind it being that we all start with a starter box, and we basically build our armies up until a point. I did spit the coal last episode about potentially aiming that to land on a doorstep or something, whether that's LGT or something else that we basically build towards it and try and get the community to build their armies with us. I think it might be quite cool. What do you think?
Yeah, sounds good. I mean, like for me, the main thing I wanted to do out of this is do some more hobby stuff rather than just being about building an army that's good on the table. And I think there's loads of design space to do cool things with it with Brotherhood, which is why I've gone that way. And I'm going to use it as an excuse to learn some stuff that I don't really do already. So yeah, for me, this is more hobby project. So I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, it's good. It's good as well because I think I've got a bit of experience around hobbying. Steve is actually really good at the hobby stuff side of it as well. So it'd be nice for all four of us to have chats weekly or weekly or monthly about sort of what we're going to do and bounce ideas off each other. The reason I went for Greyjoy was because I want to revisit like the splashing pools of water and the beads of water and stuff coming up from the floor and get a really nice dark gritty feel for them.
Do you want to compliment live on air? I know it doesn't happen very often. Do you want to compliment?
Personally,
Yeah.
Go on.
Yep. Well, I actually stole your tutorial video for water bases to do my Greyjoys.
Oh, nice. To be fair, I think that's the best army you've painted.
Do you reckon?
100%, mate.
Oh, fair enough. Thanks.
You're welcome. But yeah, only because you follow my
Oh,
tutorial.
wait, hang on. Let's rewind. Oh, it's because of the bases. That's what you're saying, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
A little bit.
I knew there was a backhanded compliment there, wasn't it?
Yeah. No,
So
no,
are
no,
you
it's
you you claiming all the credit? Yeah.
no, mate, no, you're good. Yeah, but yeah, I will sort of do this because I know that quite a few people have used that tutorial, so I want to try and do a bit more with it, maybe explore some
Yeah.
different stuff. So I don't want to go with the running out the sea thing because I know that's been done a little bit more now since I did that tutorial. But I want to do more um, sort of like running across the stony shore, so make it more of a grey thing rather than a beachy thing, and try and have them running through like puddles and things to try and give it a bit more of a different look. But
Yeah.
yeah,
No, I had a lot of fun doing the bases on those because you can do so much cool stuff with like all the different splash gels and
yeah,
the water effects and all sorts of weird wonderful things. So yeah, actually, I think it's cool if you want to do something different you've never done before. And for anyone listening, Grant will cover his ears because I will big him up. But the tutorial video he did do all the way back then, it was really beginner friendly for anyone who wants to learn how to do water effects. If I can do it, anyone can do it.
yeah. And obviously
There you
we'll be doing that as part of this as well. So I'll be doing an updated version of it and sort of recording it and filming it, and you'll be doing that as well. Steve will be filming bits and Carl will be filming bits, just about building these armies up. I'm really excited about doing it. What we will say as well is that I've got a meeting this week with LGT regarding next year. So hopefully next episode we'll have more details about potentially a couple of new tournaments that we are looking at that we're about to I think sign off. Um, and probably two of the biggest tournaments that we're looking at that we've run, right?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, it's going to be good.
Mm. So yeah, definitely tune in for that next time. The next episode will be going live on the 21st, which is the weekend. This is the Thursday before the Battle of Free Swords. So we're going to go over that a little bit as well. In fact, should we do list review on a Thursday night?
Yes, let's do it.
I'll check the list, make sure I'm not going to piss people off, but potentially look at that. Look at some of the awesome prize pool we've got for that tournament. And yeah, go over some of the new events that we're looking at opening up. Yeah, it's exciting times ahead.
Yeah, it's going to be good. It's going to be good.
Awesome, awesome. Okay, man. Well, cheers for your time today. Cheers for eventually getting here and joining me for some ice and fire chat.
It's right. Fashionably
Um,
late, I think is what they call it.
yeah. I'm looking forward to Brotherhood Banners. Looking forward to some of the content that's coming up. Looking forward to some of the tournaments that are around the corner. Hopefully, all you guys in the chat will come and join us. I hope you found today helpful. We're not experts at Brotherhood Banners yet, but we know what we're looking for. And if we don't, I'll just hide behind James.
Yeah, absolutely. And everyone, make sure you check in next week when we go through a load of more cool stuff, tournament stuff. Or if we're going to do the list reveals, talk about some tactics and stuff, that would be quite good.
Yeah, definitely, mate. Definitely.
Yep.
All right, dude. Right. Well, cheers for your time, mate. I'll catch you soon. Yeah.
Yeah, speak to you soon.
Take care, man. Bye.
Cheers, bye.